Thanks for watching our San Jieh Dao introduction video. In this short clip, I'm going to kind of demonstrate some of the very fundamentals of our San Jieh Dao martial arts. Just a quick background and an intro. I come from JKD, Jeet Kune Do Jiangfan Kung Fu background. I'm a second generation instructor under the first generation students of Bruce Lee student, late Sifu Richard Bustillo, and my chief instructor, Sifu Dan Enosanto from IMB Academy. And I kind of been in martial art for many, many years. After many years of teaching and kind of developing and innovating and just analyzing, I basically developed what I call the martial art, what I call Trifold Way, or in Mandarin Chinese, San Jieh Dao. San Jieh Dao means Trifold Way. So you may see a lot of similarities in this video with what you may have seen in other arts, or especially JKD and Jeet Kune Do, but the philosophies are different. The fundamental aspects of the art, the ground base is different, and certainly the entire spectrum, the framework of San Jieh Dao versus Jeet Kune Do is different. But of course, that's my root. I'm also a certified instructor in Filipino martial arts because that's also my background at the same time. Plus many, many different elements that I extracted and refined and added many other basic elements into San Jieh Dao to make this a very complete composite martial art, a combative martial art. Okay, so with my basically, I'm just going to demo some of the basics that we do in our. We have three phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, as it goes, and each phase basically have 3 levels for student as a students, and as of course we have apprentice instructor level. It goes the same way with multi phases and multi levels. But some of the basics that we train, which basically covers the long range, mid range, close range, grappling range, and we go back and forth. We have offense, defense counters, and we use different equipment. So real quickly, this is our academy. In the background, on the right side, we have a whole rows of heavy bags. These bags are here. Basically, we train with. We do a lot of endurance training. We have mats. These are actually Olympic grade size mats that we use when we're doing actually ground work, real wrestling, ground grappling work. We have different types of kicking shields, air shields, and foam shields on the background. We have different types of Thai pads because it's a very mobile type of equipment that we train with. These are very dense, and though they may be a little bit heavy to carry, but they're very good because they protect the body, and then they can take a lot of punishment in terms of the hits, the pressure and the pounds of hits. These are focus gloves, obviously, and the focus gloves, you've probably seen these. We'll do a little bit of a training with these right now, just do a very tiny bit of demo. We use these for much more mobile type of training as opposed to, let's say, Thai pads or even kicking shields. We use short sticks. We use background, students can bring their own jumping ropes here. We have jumping ropes here. We have on the right side, these are basically our what I call dragon pole, and they're very long, and for very long distance training, more of a northern style of martial art kung fu. And then of course we have short sticks and even shorter sticks, so various basic size of sticks, and we simulate dagger, and we of course use blades with the type of blades that are chain blades, or blades by themselves, or even plastic blades, just to simulate different life situation as we get into our phase 1 curriculum. So phase 1 basically is an hour and a half to hour and 15 minute class each time that we meet. But of course for the internet, we're going to have these 30-minute segments. If you just follow us on our website, you get to see what the events will look like, what is coming up, and the registration. All the information is on our website, sanjiedao.com. So right now, let me just demo a little bit of what do we do in our class. Again, it changes every single time because the curriculum is very long. for phase 1, and of course phase 2 even deeper, and phase 3 is much deeper and complex. I call phase 1 exposure, phase 2 application, phase 3 fusion in a very umbrella term, but they all have each of those in each phase. Phase 1 do application and fusion as well, but on a much lower level. We break things down, I analyze things, I explain things, definition, and and behind the camera actually we have a big whiteboard that I draw a lot to explain to the student what is this element in terms of its terminology, in terms of geometrical shape, on and on and on. So with my let me get Simu here, Simu Khozairy. She's my partner, who's been training for many years. She's also a certified instructor in San Jieh Dao. I've certified her, and she teaches as well. And we have other students, senior student, which will be in our classes and our San Jieh Dao the web classes as well. And you get to see them. Of course, our son too, Sifu Khozairy, is also a senior student, and he's going to be in the videos along as well. So what do? We do kicking and kickboxing and closing the gap. And so this is one of the very, very basic fundamental SJD 101, if you will. Rear hook to single rear hook again. That's like, for example, what do we do with the rear hook? It's a long range. Come back a rear hook. Or if I'm going to go alternate rear hook with different footwork, which is what we have, come back here one more time. I'm going to go center switch here. Okay, center switching, averaging and changing and referencing myself to the opponent. Let's say I wanted to kick and I want to go from hook to linear as an example to collapse the opponent. I'm going to go, of course, light because these are very dangerous moves. But let's just say rear hook to rear stomp as an example. Come back and then I go forward. Or I could go do the same thing I did with my replacing rear hook to replace the rear stomp. Oh, one more time, rear hook to rear stomp here. Closing the gap, okay? We have many, many other types of kicks. Now, kickboxing, kicks, hand fighting, I explained. Anything that we do with from our shoulder down to the tip of our finger is hand fighting. Anything that we do basically from our hip all the way down to our toe, it's foot fighting, including knees, thighs, and anything we do with our body is grappling. So 3 phases of, if you will, 3 modes of body motion, body fighting, okay? So we have overlap now. So you just saw some basic long range. Here we're going to do basic, what do we do? Punch boxing, like jab cross here, jab cross hook, okay? Again, let's stand here, so this is for the camera. Basic stuff, right? But we have a lot of scientific, the way we punch, the way we maneuver. We don't just punch this way because body have to be in a correct form. Getting behind the punch, all of that, I break it down, I explain it, and we have it in our phase, all the phase classes, particularly phase 1, because that's the fundamental, the foundation of everything else. So offensive only, like we do routine. Let's say jab, cross, hook, uppercuts. Pull uppercut here again, or on this side. Uppercuts are not just, when you do an uppercut, we don't just do this. This is not uppercut. Correct uppercut with the body, how we maneuver, how we angle ourselves behind the hit. We have 12 lines of attack of punch boxing, and why I call it punch boxing, because we make contact with our punch. In this example, in this case, in this element, we have elbow boxing right here. This is our elbow box. This is where we close the gap here. I come in, let's say I'm going to go jab and then follow with the elbow. Here, jab, and then follow with the elbow. Here, again, here, follow with the elbow. Jab, follow with the elbow. Or I can go offense, defense, counter. Here, hook, here, come back. One more time. Come back, I'm going to go here with the counter again. Then I'm going to come back with the elbow. Or we can do like kicking, close the gap, enter, jab, cross, elbow as an example, not just jab, cross, punch or hook. Jab, cross, lean forward, elbow, come back, bang here, and then go into our grappling as an example. We go over a lot of different things. So let me show you basically our, we get into this and I'm going to do some other stuff, okay? Different types of combination with the stick. These are 32-inch or 30-inch sticks. So you've seen a lot of this before. Open, we do open training, tuck training, different style of training, but all injected in San Jieh Dao, okay? 6K, back here, and then we do in our tuck. So open, here, start again, bang, bang, here, start again, here, bam, bam, and then we do, and then stand it, okay, as an example. Again, one more time, bam, 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 bam. Basic 101 SJD. But every one of these lines, we break it down, why we do what we do, why the angle of the body is the way it is, and so on and so forth. So offense, defense. Give me number one. Let's say we talk about this as inside, outside, inside, okay? So over, under, logical, illogical, means unnatural. Number one, head is high. Logically speaking, the opening is below, I'm going to go down. Illogically speaking, which we will do, we train quite a bit, head is high, I'm going to go even higher. Scientific ways of explaining the elements. Training with the element. Again, I'm inside, I want to go outside. How do I do that? Bang, I could go out here this way and maneuver. Or again, one more time, okay? Bang, I come back here, maneuver, okay? With a single stick. Now, you notice I'm going kind of warp speed here. Let's say overhead, we get into this, thing called box pattern as an example, yeah? Default setting, both mirror full work, okay? Default setting here, it's a closed loop, basically offense, defense, counter, level 1. Now, we can break it down, okay, over, okay? Bang, just go through it. Bam, bam, bam. We can break it down and then come back as an example, or we can do something else, get out of the loop and get back to it. One, bang, one, bang, one. Now you notice what we're doing here in this case. We're going to do the same thing in the empty hand in a second. But let's say you give me a 1, okay? I'm intercepting this hit. Okay, coming at me, I'm intercepting this hit. I don't want to use my opposite hand. I can just go bang right there and then hit. As I go hit, I can go outside and maneuver outside. So this is a single hand compound counter or defensive counter, okay, against the number 1 shot. We learn how to use our single hands, how to maneuver from one hand to another. We have hand switch. As I go around, I could just come back with the opposite hand. Or we obviously have a lot of disarm. For example, 1, let's say 1 here, I could disarm this real quickly. Here, one more time, bam, bam, right there, boom, disarm, right? Or we could go overhead, I could basically snake this out and just shove it out and take it out, grab it. So we do disarm. We do locks and takedowns as an example. The stick. Let's put the sticks away. Let's do some of this here. Simulating of stab. Let's just give me a stab. So we get into this rhythm. See, then number 1 again, get back into this rhythm here. Now, we're simulating this stabbing motion And it's what I call symmetrical closed loop, meaning both sides are doing the same thing. Now I want to break the loop, get into a lock here. See, I'm locking the opponent, in this case my partner, and it goes into submission because I can grab it and then tap, boom, you feel it, right? So, or I can really disarm, so I could just peel it from this motion, take it out, and then I have two dagger or two stick in my hand. I come back and I fight. When we get into rhythm, we have rhythm training. We have rhythmic training, not just rhythm, but rhythmic. We have speed training, obviously. We have cortex training, brain side, right side, training with the left side, training with the right. So how we maneuver from one side to another, we should be able to use most people are right-handed. They should be able to use their left foot, left side, just as efficient as their right side. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Because we train. We focus on the unused part or unnatural part of our brain, the side that usually doesn't get trained. And when you do that, you develop what we call coordination. You can coordinate between right and left. Right eye and left eye, right foot and left foot. Let's say it's getting to as we get closer into trapping, as an example, same rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 against the jab, same thing. We get into this rhythm here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now it's a symmetrical closed loop. You notice the similarities between this and the short stick and long stick. I can break this loop here, bang, 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 bang here, come back here and then hit low and go high, hit boom, 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 and come back and then do some other shots, boom, and then push back, and now we're in a boxing or we're in a kickboxing or long range fighting mode or fighting zone. We have a lot of defense and counter. We have a lot of footwork. One of the things that we do is reaction training. How do I react based on the visual, based on what I see or based on what I hear? So we have audio reaction training, visual reaction training, tone of the audio. Basically students, the way I teach is they learn the different tone. Let's say you're hearing a loud bang as opposed to just tiny movement of something. Can you react to it? Not just a loud bang. Can you react to a very low tone, dim tone? Or, I'm a musician, so I play, I made a lot of music for our training. I play drum, keyboard, piano, basically confine or configure some kind of a rhythm training that will help us to train to basically a smooth training, sometimes a bumping up training. And again, I train, I play as the students sometimes train. Of course, we play a lot of music, different types of music that helps us get in a good mood and train. But at the same time, our training is the audio or music training. Some of it is specific for that type of training that I designate or that we actually train and practice that for that day. The other, I can go over a lot of other stuff. For example, the dragon pole, in the dragon pole mode, this is the longest of the longest. Is the northern style that really is extended from one end to the other. This is not the typical staff. And we do have staff which is about 5-6 feet high, not as high as the 72-inch. So same training that we did with single or double stick, same thing we could do with the staff, or the pole, bang. Again here, now this is both sides are doing offensive, which cancels each other out. Again, bang, 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 bang. Or we could do offense, defense, counter. Give me 1, bang, and just go through 1 through 5. Feed me, bang, bang, bang. And then we can come, as you feed a 5 here, bang, bang, we get into other types of training. I can go back into as a counter, maintaining my range, come back there as a takedown, or just shove it in there and boom, turn the opponent around and come back with counter, or we go high and low. somebody's lower level plane, somebody's a higher. We train with height differential. We train not just a student that one is taller or shorter, but actually literally with a height differential. We squat the train, we stand the train. We could do actually our kicking and boxing or punching while we're on a mat. So we experience how do you do that when you're in a different situation. We learn how to roll, how to fall when somebody's throwing you. You know, how do you take the impact? How do you meet the ground the way that is the smoothest for your body? Thank you, Simu here. How do you basically maneuver to different modes of fighting that cause a lot less injury to yourself and that you can overcome the battle? Our principle, the combative principle that we follow are very, very deep, but it's very easy to understand, easy to digest, easy to absorb, and basically see and hear, and all of both the instruction and the visual all makes sense. And this is what San Jieh Dao is about, is to overcome the battles. Now, battles could be your bills that you pay, the battles the things that you face at work, battles at home. Battles isn't just punching and boxing and grappling on a street. We simulate those things, the life situation of the bills or the just emotional or even spiritual, all those, we simulate that on a classroom setting so that when you overcome these situations, and a lot of them have very similar common denominator, multi-opponent as an example. I'm fighting against the one opponent in front of me. What if I get clobbered or attacked by two or three, two behind me? It's the same thing when you're facing different financial situation. You focus on one thing, and next thing you're getting attacked by health or by whatever else that comes at you at home or at work or in this terrible world that we live in. The world is evil. So San Jieh Dao trains you on a trifold level, trifold way, and that's why it's called trifold way. And this is where we are, and we have a lot of information on our website, and if you like to contact us, we'd love to communicate back and forth with you. We're going to have, like I said, these 30-minute phase segments classes, and where we basically cover two events, like a footwork or boxing or kickboxing or grappling or sticks or trapping or maybe takedown variation, all based on the curriculum that I teach. And here I've been teaching for many, many years and refined it down to the T. So you get to train it, you get to learn it wherever you are. You don't need to come here. Though it would be great if you could, but people are not local, majority people. And people have work, have life. It's difficult for people to travel. And in any countries you are, you can learn wherever you are at your home. And we come to you. And the best way is you go to our website. There's a button, it's called subscribe. Subscribe to our website so that we have your email address and your name and email address. That's about it. Then we send you the first-hand news about the events that are taking place. And some of our events are live and they're free. Some of them are require registration, a very small fee for the classes. And as you continue to go forward, you can communicate with us and see what you'd like to learn. So with this, I'll close this video. I hope that we see you wherever you are at training with us in our San Jieh Dao martial arts, basically web classes and through the videos and as well as audio events that we have. God bless you and hope to see you in our videos next time.